Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of the show with no name. But before we begin, let me remind you where you can get all the information you need on what's going on in the Vaughn world. ¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop. That's right, folks. More information at our website. And now it is officially time for
T-10,
liftoff.
9,
Let's go,
8,
folks.
7, 6,
So much to
5,
do today.
4, 3, 2, 1.
No time to waste.
0. Ignition.
Here we go.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name.
Hands up.
Let's go.
Yes. Welcome aboard. Welcome, amigos. Hallelujah. It is time for the show with no name. Amen. Or amen. However you want to say it. You can say amen or amen. And if you didn't know that, it means you haven't listened to the FYI episodes on the Bible, where I have my mom on board, shooting the breeze, teaching me things about the good word, la palabra de Dios. If you haven't heard those episodes, you won't only learn about the Bible, but you'll also hear my mother and I having a blast, laughing, singing. Yeah, I didn't want to plan that episode too much. I just said, Mom, don't prepare too much. I gave her just some general ideas. And since I knew she could wing it, to wing it is improvisar. Well, the rest is history. In fact, every time my mom joins me on FYI, I get a lot of amazing feedback because, well, she's a great orator, let's be honest. I'm not just saying it because she's my mom. She really, really speaks clearly, eloquently. You know, she really knows how to get her point across. Comunicar claramente, to get her point across. And you guys who participated in this week's question of the week, you really got your point across. And I'm talking about Anix, Chris Valrol, Carmen, Adriana, Jose Maria, Jaime, Lina, Marisol, Cristina, Kubla, and Nuria. We're going to be hearing from all your fellow show with no namers today, and they're going to tell us what they like to do after a tough day or a tough week, how they unwind, how they blow off some steam. Si no aprendes nada de esta question of the week esta semana, to unwind, to blow off some steam, to get some R&R, some rest and relaxation. But we don't have any time for R&R right now. We've got to rock and roll into today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, show with no namers. Today we're going to hear something from Essential English, el inglés imprescindible para situaciones cotidianas, for everyday situations. It's called Essential English. It's for all levels. There are over 3 hours of audio, conversations, situations. There's something for every situation. And today, we're going to learn a little bit about fears, miedos, fears, and dislikes, cosas que no nos gustan. And what I'll have you do, as always, is listen to this short audio clip, and then I'll have a challenge for you. Well, I'll have many challenges for you since we're just getting started. This is from Essential English, and it's available at the Von Tienda.
Pista 78.
Fears and dislikes.
Asustar a alguien.
To scare someone.
Dar miedo.
To be scary.
Tener miedo a.
To be scared of. To be afraid of.
Arañas.
Spiders.
Avispas.
Wasps.
Cucarachas.
Cockroaches.
Alturas.
Heights.
Agujas.
Needles.
Fantasmas.
Ghosts.
La oscuridad.
The dark.
Lucy, look at this terrarium. There are loads of spiders in there.
Oh, spiders. I hate spiders.
Spiders are so cool. I really want one. A big black one, a tarantula.
Aren't you afraid of them? Especially the big, hairy ones are really scary.
I think spiders are fascinating.
Is there an insect you're afraid of?
Yeah, there is. I'm really scared of moths.
Of moths? But moths are like butterflies. They don't do anything.
I know, but I just hate them. I was having a shower the other day when a moth came in through the window. I got on my knees and held the shower head up so the moth wouldn't touch me. I totally freaked out.
That's so funny.
It wasn't funny. The whole bathroom got wet and I had to clean everything. I seriously think I have a phobia.
I had no ideas moths scared you so much.
Practice time.
Reformula las frases usando
To scare.
y.
To be scared of.
Y ya sabes, en inglés omitimos el artículo cuando hablamos de las cosas en general. Suena muy raro decir
The heights scare me.
o
I'm scared of the needles.
1.
Heights are scary. Heights scare me. I'm scared of heights.
2.
Ghosts aren't scary. Ghosts don't scare me. I'm not scared of ghosts.
3.
My son. Needles are scary. Needles scare my son. My son is scared of needles.
4.
Kyle. Flying is scary. Flying scares Kyle. Kyle is scared of flying.
5.
My daughter. The dark is scary. The dark scares my daughter. My daughter is scared of the dark.
6.
She. Heights aren't scary. Heights don't scare her. She's not afraid of heights.
7.
Paul. Wasps are scary. Wasps scare Paul. Paul is scared of wasps.
8.
Flying isn't scary. Flying doesn't scare me. I'm not scared of flying.
9.
They, cockroaches, are scary. Cockroaches scare them. They're scared of cockroaches.
10.
My children. Big dogs aren't scary. Big dogs don't scare my children. My children aren't scared of big dogs. Translation time.
1. Mucha gente tiene miedo a volar.
Many people are scared of flying.
2. De pequeño tenía miedo a la oscuridad.
When I was little, I was afraid of the dark.
3. Me puse como una loca cuando vi una araña enorme encima de mi cama.
I freaked out when I saw a huge spider on my bed.
4. Él se puso como un loco cuando encontró una cucaracha en su ensalada.
He freaked out when he found a cockroach in his salad.
5. ¿Me has dado un susto?
You scared me.
6. Perdóname, no era mi intención darte un susto.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
7. ¿Tienes miedo a las agujas?
Are you scared of needles?
8. No tengo miedo a volar, pero tengo miedo a las alturas.
I'm not afraid of flying, but I'm afraid of heights.
9. ¿Por qué tienes miedo a los fantasmas? No existen.
Why are you afraid of ghosts? They don't exist.
10. Están poniéndose como unos locos porque hay cucarachas en la cocina.
They're freaking out because there are cockroaches in the kitchen.
Aplica lo aprendido en otras situaciones. 1. ¿Tienes miedo a perder tu trabajo?
Are you afraid of losing your job?
2. Tengo miedo de lo que pueda pasar.
I'm scared of what could happen.
3. Él tiene miedo a hablar en público.
He's afraid of speaking in public.
4. Ella se puso como una loca cuando vio el arañazo en su nuevo coche.
She freaked out when she saw the scratch on her new car.
5. Él se pondrá como un loco cuando se entere.
He'll freak out when he finds out.
All right, there you go, folks. Some totally native English. And that's from the book Essential English. It's available at Von Tienda. It's also available with similar books from that collection: Natural English, English Grammar, and English Pronunciation. Each one is just under $25, and you can pick it up at vontienda.com. Essential English, and we looked at some really native stuff there. All right, amigos. Oh, and great job to my amigas Tash, Pascua, and Carmen. It's always nice, as I say, to hear some of my friends' voices here. And they do such a great job. I'm not just saying that. So you can pick up a copy at vontienda.com. Un ejemplar. It's called Essential English. Also, remember, we've got a lot of special deals going on right now. If you go to grupovon.com/cursos destacados, you can discover everything we have to offer. All right, let's take a look here, amigos. I've got 3 things I want you to do here, and I want full sentences. I want examples. I want personalized examples. The first one: how would you tell somebody you're really scared of something without saying, I'm very or really scared? So a synonym, not for scared, for very scared. Because one thing is, oh, I'm scared. I don't know. I'm reluctant, reacio. But I mean, you're scared. Like, 100% scared, really scared. That's number 1. Number 2, dislikes, cosas que no nos gustan. How would you say the idiomatic expression and use something? Usa un ejemplo de lo que no es lo tuyo. Number 2, lo que sea no es lo mío. How would you say that in English? And the third one, let's look at the other side of the coin. Me flipa tal cosa. So, number 1 is tal cosa, me asusta, o tal situación. You can use your own example. I highly recommend you do. Tal cosa me asusta que no veas. Okay, muchísimo. Number 2, tal cosa no es lo mío. And number 3, tal cosa, me flipa. Realmente me encanta. Es la leche. Remember, we don't say it's the milk, guys. You know that, right? You know how we really say it? You can say it's the bomb or it's the shit. Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. Say what? Come on, folks. Say what soundbite. Say what soundbite. Huh? Come again? Come again is another way to say, can you repeat that? Come again? Remember, we don't say, could you repeat me? Porque entonces diría, me. So in inglés es, could you repeat that? Could you repeat it? Hombre, si quieres poner to me, puedes. Or for me. Could you repeat that for me? Or to me. Cualquiera de los dos te vale. Pero no te hace falta. Porque si te lo pido yo, could you repeat that? Well, it's obvious. So claro, el error viene de repítemelo. You want to put the me after repeat. What I suggest you do with these common mistakes is you write it down incorrectly. So write, repeat me, please, and cross it out. Táchalo. And then write it correctly, obviously. Repeat it, please, or repeat it for me, please. Hey, that's the best way, I think, because then you can visualize it. Because a lot of times my students will write it down in their notebook. They'll write it down correctly. Could you repeat that? But then when they go back and look at their notes, if they do, it's out of context. You're like, okay, ¿por qué he puesto? Could you repeat that? However, if you write the mistake above it, now you know why. And you can even cross it out in red. So you can highlight, destacar, you can highlight your biggest mistakes and work on them and improve them. And then we'll find new ones. Even native speakers make mistakes. The laísmos in Spanish, the if I was you, the you should have went, right? Are they mistakes if native people make them? Well, if you're taking a grammar exam, if you need to be understood, I don't think so. All right, well, my amigos, let's see if you can understand today's Say What soundbite. I think the person speaks pretty clearly. We'll see what you guys think. As always, I want you to give me your take, tu opinión, based on what you've heard, and I want you to give it to me in your best English. Make it beautiful. Here it is, the Say What soundbite for the first time.
When you have dinner, when you have drinks, when you socialize, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion. I don't know about you. And you don't talk about sports. Those are the big three.
All right. Okay, a little bit fast, but I don't think it's too tough to understand what this guy is saying here. What do you think, folks? All right. Let's see then. I've got, wow. A lot of amigos participating here on the show with no name today. Again, I want to thank you all for your participation today and every day, and for your patience with me. This has been a really difficult week for somebody who has to use their mouth a lot. You know, when you have a toothache and then you need to have a tooth pulled, well, you know, I guess if you don't, you know, if you work as a data analyst, analista de datos, I guess it doesn't matter. But if you have to talk, the good thing is this week I didn't schedule too many classes. No puse demasiadas clases, as I knew that, you know, you need a while. In fact, they say that the dentist told me that it's going to take 3 months to fully heal if everything goes well. So, you know, obviously it's healing every day, I hope. I hope when I go back next week, the dentist isn't like, oh my God, what happened here? That's the worst. You don't want that to happen. But I have to say, I'm one of those good patients. Soy buen paciente. I follow the doctor's orders to a T, a pie de la letra. I don't deviate. Why? They know more than me. I'm not saying doctors are all knowing. They're humans, and they've made mistakes many times. Some of them because of their own pride, su propio orgullo, right? They have like a God complex. But to err is human. We were just talking about native speakers making mistakes. It's par for the course. No, es lo que hay. Es parte de la vida, de eso. All right, David is in the house, front row center. Hello, David. Welcome. It's great to have you on board and ready to rock. Daniela says, hello. Okay, I know. I think I know what you're doing here. Daniela, tell me if I'm right. A ver, me cuesta cantar, okay? Hello. Is that the one you were doing? Because I was listening to that song this morning. Nirvana. Smells Like Teen Spirit. I love that song. I love Nirvana. But what I love about that part, Daniela, if that's what you were doing, in fact, is how he plays with the words. So it starts out, hello, how low, cuán bajo. So it goes from hello to how low. Really cool. And in an upcoming episode of FYI, I demystify this song. I have an episode coming up after Easter week on English and music. And we look at the lyrics of the song, and then we sing it with Kurt Cobain. That's on FYI, which, by the way, you got a brand spanking new episode of FYI out. It just dropped about an hour or two ago, and it's on Extreme Sports. So it's for all you daredevils, osados, adrenaline junkies. You know who you are. I was one, but now I play it safe. Voy sobre seguro. I think you say it like that. I play it safe. Que no me la juego. This would be a good translation. There's Elena. Elena with the first totally native. She says, good morning, guys. Here we are with bells on, con muchísimas ganas. That's the way, I like it, That's the way, I like it. Hey, Chris, there's Chris Valrol. She says, morning, amazing show with no namers. Let's go. Well, we can't go without Born to Iron Man. Morning, Double A and friends. Morning to you too. Born to Iron Man. Mike says, what's up, Chulos? I'm going to destroy the like button. Thank you. Let's turn the show with no name into the show. I love it. I love it. Folks, I can't believe it. We are going to a quick commercial break right now. We'll be right back with tons more show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name, English Extravaganza. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning, and I hope you'll listen to my amiga Ximena. She's up next after today's show at 12:30 with Nacho. Ximena and Nacho will test your English. After that, you can chow down. Eso es otra forma de decir comer. You can chow down with Rob and Andy in the lunchtime show. And if you're feeling a little bit shy, a little bit timid, well, maybe Ruby will teach you how to speak up. After that, you can get random with Jules Linares. Then have a little salad with Dave Boys. You never know what to expect. Then you've got Kyle Miller for your commute home with his program full of challenges. It's Drive Time. You've also got Chris Frank with Frankly Speaking. And what else? Chris Frank. Oh, yeah, Richard Vaughn. How could I forget? Richard Vaughn Live. And the Probo Show. And don't forget about Fitz and No Excuses. And by the way, St. Patrick's Day is this coming Sunday. What are you guys doing? If you'd like, you can tell me in the comments. What are you doing for St. Patrick's Day or St. Patty's Day? And I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm having a barbecue. That's right. With Rob and Andy and Kyle. And I'm not sure if Fitz is coming yet or not, but I'm planning a barbecue for this weekend, and it's supposed to be the forecast. I don't want to jinx it. No quiero hacer gafes aquí, but the forecast says it's going to be 25 degrees where I live. Are you serious? Awesome. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Now, the only problem is, as you guys know, since I'm missing a molar in the back and it's healing, I'm going to have to take it easy. I'm not going to be able to chow down as much as I'd like to, para usar esa palabra otra vez, to pig out. Well, you got to take care of it. You don't want to get any food in there. I'm sure many of you have been in my place there, but that doesn't mean I can't cook for the rest of them. I love cooking. It relaxes me. In fact, that's one of my answers. What do I do after a tough day? I do some gardening. You know, maybe I'll repot a plant. To repot, poner una maceta más grande, porque ya sé. So I just repotted yesterday. I had a difficult day, of course. I was in pain. And I repotted a bay leaf tree, un arbolito, una planta de laurel, which has, you could see the roots, las raíces, coming out of the bottom of the pot. So I repotted that, and that relaxes me. I love getting my hands, I love dirt under my nails. That's one of the things that relaxes me. Also, cooking. I love to cook, but I don't love to cook where, okay, tenemos 20 minutos, luego el baño. No, I like to cook and take my time. You know what I mean? Like prepare everything, cut the tomatoes the way I want to cut them. You know, I like to really thicken the sauce. Me gusta espesar la salsa. You know, I like to do it nice. In fact, my wife says sometimes, she's like, oh my God. She's like, this looks like a meal you would get in a restaurant. And well, I like to cook. I always say this: if you like to eat, then it can't hurt to know how to cook, because then you don't have to wait for somebody to make it for you. And then you can choose your own product, right? Puedes elegir tu propio producto bruto. We say raw materials, raw como crudo. So we'll hear from you guys in a little bit to see what winds you down after a tough day. But for me, it's one of my latest hobbies, gardening. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have a big garden. I have a few little plants, and I'm experimenting. I'm trying to sprout some strawberries right now. To sprout, what was the word sprout? To germinate, to sprout. Se me olvida, lo sabía. ¿Ves? As you get older, stuff doesn't fit. Brote, hacer brotar, right? And so we'll see. We'll see how that experiment works. Our garlic is looking great. El ajo está, vamos, sanísimo. So I guess me being around food, whether it's in its before it becomes food, but I like the art of preparing food and now growing it. We'll see how it goes. As I told my wife, a garden gets more beautiful every year if you put time into it. And we just moved into our home about a year ago. So this is just year one. Hopefully in 2 years, 5 years, the garden will be beautiful. And it reminds me of an idiomatic, well, it's not an idiomatic expression. Garden, hold on, let me look it up here. Never see quote. I heard it this morning too. Okay, here it is. This is Michael Avaltroni. It says, is that, I don't even know who that. Oh, okay. Is it from, oh, no, this is, guys, it's from Hamilton. These words were written by Lin-Manuel, I was going to say Noriega. Oh my God, wrong guy. Lin-Manuel Miranda, the guy who wrote, he worked on Moana, well, you call it Vaiana. He's a lyricist. He did Hamilton. Excellent Latino talent, extreme talent. And listen to this, and I want you guys to hear this because this is real here. This is as real as it gets. Legacy. What is a legacy? ¿Qué es un legado? It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. Toma. What do you think of that? I just got chills. Mira, yo tengo escalofríos ahora mismo. It's about leaving something that you don't even get to enjoy, but somebody else, your kids, the future will enjoy it. So the line is, again, it's from the musical Hamilton. You can get it if you have Disney Plus. You can watch this. If you go to New York, you need to be lucky and have hundreds of dollars to go see it. When we went, I think my mom paid around $250 a ticket. $250 cada billete. And she was lucky to get tickets. So it's a very popular musical. And he says, legacy? What is a legacy? It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. What an amazing line there. All right. Well, as always, we're learning English from music, from movies, from Broadway, from anything, wherever we can extract a little English. Let's take a look at today's pop quiz. I see we've got a lot of people participating over here, and we'll see how you guys did on the pop quiz. Elena says, I'm dead scared of ghosts. Excellent. It's correct. I'm dead scared of ghosts. Number 2, she says, I'm not into politics. Perfecto. Muy común. No es lo mío. I'm not into politics. And she says, right, I can't speak. Sorry, that's me. Running is right. Te voy a cambiar aquí una cosita. La preposición down lo cambiamos por up. So the correct one would be running is right up my alley. Es justo lo que me gusta a mí. Me flipa. So let's go over all 3 of them. Elena says, I'm dead scared of ghosts. Correct. I'm not into politics. Correct. And running is right up my alley. Great job. Chris Valrol in the house. She says, I was scared to death of spiders. Excellent. Scared to death. Lo usamos muchísimo. I was. Oh, you're not anymore. Good. I'm glad. She got over, superar. Bueno, mirar este vocabulario también. She got over her arachnophobia. Or at least I think that from the was. I was scared to death of spiders. Number 2, she says, playing football is not my cup of tea. Excellent. No es lo mío. And she says, the show with no name freaks me out. Well, it freaks me out. It can be me asusta. I think if I said it freaks me out, it's me asusta. Well, if that's what you wanted to say. All right. Más común. I freaking love. Freaking is instead of saying fucking. I freaking love the show with no name. All right, let's see. Born to Iron Man says, I'm quite a lot afraid of heights. The a lot no sobra ahí, okay? So I'm quite afraid of heights. Quite más adjetivo. He's quite strong, right? Quite a lot le sigue un sustantivo. I have quite a lot of money. I wish. Estoy usando un incontable. ¿Eh? So, I'm quite afraid of heights. Muy bien. To be afraid of something. La forma quizá más común. I'm aversion of politicians. I would say I have an aversion to. Vamos a ver cómo me suena. La estructura, la palabra es correcta. Lo que nos falla ahí es la estructura. In Spanish, let's see. I have an aversion of. Okay. So I have an aversion of, not I am aversion, I have an aversion, okay? Or an aversion to, lo he oído también, que lo pienso. I have an aversion to, yo lo diría honestamente, I have an aversion to tal cosa, en vez de I am aversion. All right, and the last one, I freak out of cycling. Either way, we would say cycling freaks me out. But again, honestly, I would say it scares me then. The last one is, it's something I freaking love. It's right up my alley. It makes me tick. ¿Te gusta esa? Hace que yo haga tic, 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 ¿no? Hace que me late el corazón. All right, let's see who else is participating over here. Anybody else in our pop quiz? Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let me give you guys the way I would say each one. So snakes, I'm going to use my real examples. Snakes scare the shit out of me. Sé que es vulgar, pero puedes cambiarlo por crap. Y esto es muy, 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 muy común. Muy común. So lo que sea scares the shit out of me. Como me asusta tanto que me cago y no me queda caca encima. O sea, lo suelto todo. Pero fijaos, ahí va primero el sujeto. So lo que sea scares the shit out of me, not I'm scared of lo que sea. So fijaos en ese cambio de orden ahí, ¿no? So, lo que sea scares the shit out of me, scares the crap out of me. Y si que no queremos decir la palabra shit o crap, esta me encanta. It scares the bejesus out of me. Bejesus. Toma palabra. It scares the bejesus out of me. Okay? So, it sends shivers down my spine. Escalofríos por mi espina. Send shivers down my spine. Body's aching all the time. Mama. Ahí lo tienes en Bohemian Rhapsody. Send shivers down my spine. I was, otra, scared stiff, que me quedé congelado. I'm petrified of snakes. O sea, todos estos se usan. Snakes scare the crap out of me. They scare the bejesus out of me. I'm petrified of them. And somebody who's afraid of everything, you know what we call them? Somebody who's afraid of their own shadow. Te asusta tu propio sombra. He's afraid of his own shadow. He's a scaredy cat. A scaredy cat. A chicken. All right. I guess this is an appropriate topic for this week's FYI, which I said is on extreme sports. And if you haven't heard the episode, well, I get it. It just came out 2 hours ago. But I think you guys will really enjoy it because, as with all sports, there's always a connection to business and idiomatic expressions. Here, let me play the intro for you. Always remember this. Just in the intro of each FYI episode, you'll probably find about 15 expressions or vocabulary words. Let's see if you recognize these. The world is full of fearless, risk-taking adventure seekers in search of a rousing rush of adrenaline. Daredevils defy the very limits of humankind daily. These venturers are constantly pushing the envelope in search of that sudden surge of dopamine. The sky's the limit when it comes to overcoming one's own obstacles. Ultimately, it's all about leaving your comfort zone and living on the edge. We'll explore extreme sports on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
En inglés.
You got it. That's right, folks. You can get it wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts. But as you can see, tons of adjectives in there that can help you out with your English. All right. Also, number 2, we said it's not my cup of tea. I'm not into it, right? I'm not into it. It's not my cup of tea. It ain't my thing. It isn't my thing. Si queremos decir, también no es mi cosa. All right. Awesome stuff. Great job. And the last one, as we said, it's right up my alley, right? I love it. I love it is probably the most common one, but it's right up my alley. Let's look for some. Now, let's say you come across the expression and you don't know it, right up your alley, okay? So now I come across this word. I'm reading de tu rollo, tu mambo, como te gusta a ti. And here you can look at it. You can actually look it up and look for synonyms. So something that you enjoy, something that fulfills you, que te llena. It's right up your alley. Excellent job, my amigos. All right, we've also got to take a look at, what else? We just looked at the pop quiz. Oh, yeah, the Say What soundbite. Here we go. Let's see who's over here. Elena. Elena says, an American man who expresses the way to go if you want to strike up a conversation. The best topics to address. Great job. Very short and sweet. So an American man who expresses the way to go. Cómo hacerlo, ¿no? La mejor forma de hacerlo. If you want to strike up, totally native for the strike up a conversation. Y me lo aprendí en español también, me lo aprendí. Entablar, you say, correct? Strike up a conversation. Hey, guys, I need you to remind me right now. Did we do the Say What soundbite for the second time? I think so. Remind me now. If we didn't, I'll play it for you right now. I think I did. But, man, it's been a long week. Thank God you guys are here to help me out. Let's see. Chris says, I heard a man who's being interviewed. He's talking about the kind of conversations, small talk. Another totally native, small talk. Cháchara. No, cosas no muy importantes. Small talk people don't have when they go out for a drink or for dinner, for instance. Great job. Yes. Born to Iron Man. He says, I see eye to eye. Are you serious? So 3 people commenting on the Say What soundbite, and all 3 get a totally native, born to Iron Man too. I see eye to eye with this guy. He speaks frankly And it seems like I read his mind indeed when I answered the pop quiz in relation to politicians. Yeah, I lean to chatting about some sports. Well, I've got to be honest with you guys. In Spain, you guys take sports way too seriously. Oh, yeah. I've been called a fascist. I've been called a Franco supporter when I'm neither one, because I like Real Madrid. I'm like, wait, whoa, you're attacking my character now? wait a second. That's a generalization, isn't it? Pun intended. Generalización, generalismo. All right. Yeah, but you guys, like in the United States, we talk about sports to avoid touchy subjects. And here, sports can be a very touchy subject. Oh, man. I learned that the hard way. I learned, you know what? Don't talk about your favorite team here because people attack you for some reason. It's weird. When I think sport is all about, like, I always say this, there is nobody I would rather watch a Clásico with than a Barca supporter. There's nobody I'd rather watch a Madrid derby with than an Atletico fan. You get what I'm saying? So that's the whole fun, the banter, la cháchara. It's people who take things too seriously who usually ruin it for everyone. Let's see. Elena says, can you believe it's my birthday every St. Patrick's Day? Are you serious?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Elena! Happy birthday, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Drink a Guinness for the rest of us. Awesome stuff. Wolfgang is in the house again. What's up, Wolfgang? Ready for action, ready to rock. I love it. All right, Chris says, no, you only played the Say What soundbite once. See? Thank you. Guys, seriously, honestly, like I always tell you what a big part of this show you are, and you know it. But what would I do without you guys? Man. All right, here's your Say What soundbite for the second time. Let's see if somebody can get it today, because this week, in general, I think it's been a bit difficult.
When you have dinner, when you have drinks, when you socialize, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion. I don't know about you. And you don't talk about sports. Those are the big three.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. That's right, folks. One of our newest initiatives to help you learn English, and I think it's awesome. It's like if Vaughan Town had a baby, right? Si Vaughan Town tuviera un bebé, this is Weekend Town. Also, remember, right now our spots are filling up quickly for the summer camps, whether we're talking about the 15-day summer camps for kids from 6 to 15 years old, or whether we're talking about the urban camps, which are just a week long, but the kids don't go far away. They go home every day, and that's for 4 to 15-year-olds. So if your kids are anywhere from 4 to 15 years old, we've got a camp for them this summer. And if you book now, Of course, you can get the best weekends, the best weeks available, and make sure you get your spot. In fact, anybody who's not planning their summer now, you better get on it, because prices go. You know how it works, hotels. It's a question of supply and demand. So don't miss it. Campamentos de verano en inglés para niños y jóvenes, urban camps as well, Vaughn groups, which I told you about many, many times. You've also got one-to-one classes, Vaughn Town, and you can also prepare your Oxford exam. And right now, if you sign up for that, you can register for free. You also get the material for free and a free exam. Either way, if you want a free level test, contact us. It's real simple. You can go to grupovon.com/cursos destacados, and it says contacto, or you can reach out via social media or call us at 911-385831. Folks, we're going to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got homophones. We've got to listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time, and we're going to hear from y'all. You all. Eso es muy sureño. We're going to hear from y'all. En Nueva York se dice use. Es incorrecto, pero what are you going to do about it? Diría un New Yorker. ¿Y qué vas a hacer tú? That New York attitude. All right, amigos, you know how it works. We'll be right back with the second half of today's show. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. So much to do in this part of the show. And as I said, we're going to hear from your fellow students. Anix, who always participates. Chris Valrol. Again, another super show with No Namer. Carmen, Nuria, Kubla, Cristina in Chicago, Marisol, the talented Marisol, Lina in Ibiza, Jaime, Jose Maria, and Adriana. We're going to hear how they unwind, how they blow off some steam. Piénsalo, una olla de presión, a pressure cooker. If it blows off some steam, ¿no? Se quita la tensión, la presión. And be careful, don't say pression. I've heard people say, I am under pressure, presión. But all you have to do is think of Freddie Mercury. Hey, we're learning a lot from Queen today. Under pressure, pushing down on me, crushing down on me, no man asked for. Under pressure. Y cuidado también, aunque lo pronuncies bien y no dices presión, esa doble S es una SH. Pressure. There's also a really great Billy Joel song called Pressure. You'll have to deal with pressure. And are you ready for a little pressure? Well, not too much, just enough. In today's homophones.
Homophones, on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. 'cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 Show with no name. Show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, folks. It's Homophones here on the show with no name. And let's take a look at the first word today. What I want to know is A, if you know these words, and B, if you know if they sound exactly the same or not. And I'll warn you, I think this one's going to be pretty tough. It's not going to be easy. All right. So the first word is a kind of dance. Okay, it's a dance style, but it has come to be known as dancing. So this is another way to say to dance. Okay, it's in a lot of songs. I'll tell you that. If you're a music lover, then you might be familiar with it. It also means, it's a very totally native way of saying, I'm going to leave. It's like saying me piro instead of me marcho or me voy. Okay? So tengo que irme, tengo que bailar. Ooh, that could be a great double trouble now that I just thought about it. Uh-huh. Oh, and it's also my nickname, one of my many nicknames for my daughter. But you might not know that, but you'll find out after. All right? So the word is un baile, un tipo de baile, pero a lo largo de los años, it has come to be known as bailar, punto. Da igual el tipo de baile. Also, in American slang, it means pirarse, irse, ¿no? Salir de un lugar, marcharse. Okay? That's word number one. Are you familiar with it? What about word number two? Word number two is a framework with wheels. I think of a train, ¿no? Un vagón de tren está montado, and in Spanish, I no sabía esta palabra, boje o bogie. I don't know how. Boje, it says over here. It's a small supporting wheel. It's usually used when we're talking about wheels, right? The framework, se me olvida esta palabra, lo sabía, pero el armazón, la infraestructura de unas ruedas. So I've heard this word a lot when you're talking about roller coasters and also when you're talking about trains, okay? So es parte de la rueda, donde encaja la rueda, el boje o el bogie. Ahí me tendréis que corregir, pero la primera pone boje. All right, so those are your two words. Are you familiar with them? And do they sound exactly the same or not? Also, I'm going to give you guys your Say What soundbite for the third time.
When you have dinner, when you have drinks, when you socialize, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion. I don't know about you. And you don't talk about sports. Those are the big three.
Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831. Or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. I gotta say, I love that song. It always puts me in a good mood. All right, let's see what we've got. We've got a lot of students wishing Elena a happy birthday. Lovely, lovely stuff. Elena, so glad you're celebrating with us today. We'll kick off the celebration today, but you got to celebrate all weekend. Also, Elena is the only one taking a stab. Okay, no, I spoke too soon. Chris Valrol is taking a stab at our homophones as well. Let's see what the ladies had to say. All right, the first word, Elena, is correct. And the second word is also correct. So we're off to a good start. Hemos empezado con buen pie. And Elena says, I'd say, yo diría, I'd say they are not homophones. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol is participating. And she gives us the two words, and they're also correct. And I know what you're thinking, Elena and Chris, but we spelled the second word differently. The second word has two acceptable spellings. Okay? Ahora lo miramos. So you're both right. Elena and Chris, you're both right. And Chris also says that they are not homophones. All right, well, let's look at these words. The first word is boogie. You know it? Jungle boogie, get up for to get down, jungle boogie. I'm your boogie man. I'm here to do whatever I can. Boogie, boogie, boogie. You heard it in all the music, especially in the 70s when boogie was a popular kind of music. But now, say, oh man, we boogied last night. We were boogieing. Estábamos bailando. Also, if you say, I got a boogie, man, eso es me pido, vampiro. I've got a boogie. This is B-O-O-G-I-E. Pero, sin embargo, sin contexto, if I also tell you in American English, I've got a boogie, tengo un moco duro. Yeah, boogie. It comes from the word booger. So a booger es un moco duro. We shorten it to boogie, and that's my nickname for my daughter. Why? ¿Cuántos mocos echan los niños cuando son pequeños? So since she always had boogies, I called her Boogs. Or I still call her Boogs, Boogies. Mocos le llamo. And I'll never forget the day she discovered what it meant. See, because I said, "Oh, Lara, here, let's clean your, let's blow your nose. You got some boogies." And she's like, "You call me boogies? Boogie?" She put two and two together. Unió los cabos y dijo, que te mato, papá. I'm going to kill you, Dad. I'm like, but it's true. When you were a little kid, you know, kids, they don't know how to blow their nose. Anybody who's had kids know that there's a major turning point, you know, when everything changes. And that's the moment they learn to blow their nose because, well, they don't have to be stuffed up. They can get it all out. So the first word, boogie, boogie. All right. Now, the second word is bogey. Boogie, bogey. Boogie, bogey. They do not sound the same. Great job, Elena and Christina. Wonderful job, ladies. All right. Also, as I said, there's a nuance here. Un matiz. Oh, also, guys, if you play golf, bogey también se dice en el golf, pero decís hacer un bogey. Ah, mira, no lo sabía. Si jugáis el golf, lo sabéis entonces. But here's the problem. Here's where there's a little bit of a disagreement here between British English and American English. Now, we both say boogers. Snot es moco húmedo, el líquido, ¿no? That's snot. Boogers es el duro, ¿no? Boogers. Now, when we shorten it, we say boogies, they say bogies. O sea, que para ellos, mocos, bogies, suena como bojes. Not for us. For us, it sounds like the dance. I'm going to boogie because I've got some boogies. And then I'm going to boogie on the dance floor. So, wow. Que no es igual que buggy. A dune buggy son estos boogies. You know, estos de cuatro ruedas que van por la arena. So let's clear it up here, okay? Boogie, un baile. Boogie, pirarse en inglés americano. Boogie, moco, duro en inglés americano. Bogey, boje. Bogey, algo de golf también. Bogey, también un moco duro en inglés británico. Excellent job. And now we're ready to hear from you in Question of the Week.
Question of the Week.
All right, amigos, it's time for Question of the Week. And right now we're going to hear from Anix.
Morning, everyone. This is Anix. As you can tell, I'm a bit under the weather, but I'm okay. If there's something that makes me blow off some steam after a bad day, is my dog. As soon as I arrive home and see her happy face, her wagging tail, is more than enough. So I take her for a walk and we spend time together, have fun, and that's nice. Okay, guys, bye bye.
Anix, where are you? Sounds like a tropical island. It sounds like you're in the jungle. Wow. Did you guys hear the birds in the background? That was beautiful. I'm like, it sounds like you're under the weather. You do sound a bit stuffed up. Hablando de boogies. but it sounds like you're in paradise, Anix. Wow. All right. Excellent that she used the expression to blow off some steam. And also, I love, because this is a common mistake. A lot of people say the dog is moving his tail. Claro, en español decís mover, but we say to wag. The dog is wagging his tail. And it's true, Anix, dogs are so therapeutic. I mean, I remember when I used to have the worst day ever, just nothing could go right. One of those days. And I would come home and I would see Simon wagging his tail like, come on, let's go outside and have some fun. And it always changed my mood. So that is beautiful. Excellent, excellent stuff there. Anix, wonderful job as always. Also, a nice round of applause for birthday girl Elena. She got our Say What soundbite, and we've only played it 3 times. And Anix says, hi there. I'm in paradise. I work in the Botanic Garden of Valencia. Well, we're going to come visit you one day. I don't know if you're there on weekends, Anix, but my wife and I have been talking about taking Lara to Valencia because it's a great place, obviously, but also to see the aquarium and all of that, and obviously the botanical gardens to go see you. So hopefully we can catch up. All right. Well, let's see who's got something to say about unwinding next. This is your friend Chris Valrol.
Morning, Shononamers. It's Chris Valrol. What can always make me feel better after a bad day? Well, I take bad day as a stressful one. So I think in a way to blow off steam. What works for me is Qigong. It's not the same as Tai Chi, but they are deeply connected. It involves using exercises to optimize your energy within the body, mind, and spirit. If you practice it properly, you're going to feel really good. In other words, in balance. I think this is the secret for a healthy life. Another perk I see is that you don't rely on a pill or anything external. It's a great tool. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Excellent. Chris, I guess that's why you're such a well-balanced person, a well-rounded person. And that's important. Your energy, your chakras. And I remember I did Tai Chi at university, and I just remember it being very, very beneficial. So that's great. The only thing is, I didn't catch the name of it. If you could tell us, Chris, in the comments, the name of it. She said it's very similar to Tai Chi, which I always mistake. I always mix it up and say chai tea. O sea, siempre leo Tai Chi and chai tea, el té chai. I know. My brain doesn't work right. The only thing I would correct there is I'm thinking in, mejor thinking of. The only thing I can think of era algo así, el contexto. But excellent job. Chris Valrol. Next up, we've got a wonderful student. And in fact, you can hear from her this week. She is a skydiver. She has skydived, I can't even count how many times, and all over the world. And she tells us a little bit about it on the Extreme Sports episode of FYI that just dropped. But right now, Carmen is going to tell us about what she does to blow off some steam.
After a bad day dealing with a bunch of things that had screwed me up, the first thing I do when I kick off with my spare time is just not to think about it anymore and start to make the most of my spare time, filling me up with positive thoughts, or when I meet people, I listen to their stories, or I used to talk about funny things and all that jazz. But I have to be honest with you. Sometimes I struggle with my bad thoughts and I have to keep them away from my brain. Bye.
It's true, Carmen. And wow, what a wonderful job. What a wonderful job you did there, Carmen. Yeah, it's true. I noticed that myself, that sometimes one bad thought, one bad feeling can snowball. No, hacer efecto de bola de nieve. And before you know it, you're like biting your nails. Okay, not literally, but you can feel, you feel different. You feel stressed. And it's so important, Carmen, that you mentioned that, the power of our thoughts, of what's in our brain. And she used some great vocabulary. She says, it screwed me up. They screwed me up. Me jodieron, right? She also said something about turning off her brain, just saying, okay, it's time to put it in neutral, no? Ponerlo en ralentí a la cabeza. And try and think of positive thoughts. And really, that's such an important part of relaxing, where your brain is, because you can be lying in a hammock, en una hamaca, with your feet up at the botanical garden in Valencia. I don't know if there are hammocks there. I doubt it. But I'm just using an example with the birds chirping in the background, right? But if you're thinking about, oh, shit, I've got all this debt, esta deuda. Oh, man, I got to do this. And this person, I hate this. It doesn't matter where you are. Having a bad attitude, having bad thoughts can ruin paradise. And I can tell you that from experience, from a vacation that I had. I won't get into details, but I know that you can be in paradise and be in hell at the same time if the thoughts aren't right, if somebody's head is not in the right place. So that's such an important thing, Carmen, that you brought up. I think you mixed up used to and usually, right? She says, I used to do this. Significa que no lo haces ya. Entonces, creo que realmente querías decir, I usually do this. And she used a great expression, and all that jazz. Y todo eso. Excellent job, Carmen. We're going to hear from more students in a moment, but right now it's time for Double
Trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, folks. It's Double Trouble only on the show with no name. And as always, we're going to take a look at a translation where you have to use the same word twice. Let's see over here. Anix says, sure, just let me know and I'll be here. The guided tour is on me. Well, if we didn't have enough reasons to go to Valencia before, now we've got another one. Thank you, Anix. Chris says it's Qigong. I don't know if I can pronounce the first one, but Qigong, very interesting. Yeah, the Eastern people from the Far East, I should say, they really they know about meditation and getting your energy in the right place, and that's such again. I think Carmen and all of you hit on that fact that yeah, part of unwinding, part of blowing off steam is being at peace, right? Having peace of mind, como lo llamamos, esa tranquilidad. But you can only have that peace of mind when all your stuff is done, cuando tienes todo hecho lo que tienes que hacer. At least in my case, I can't relax knowing I have things to do. Now, I also know, okay, I can do more things tomorrow, but knowing that I have something to do, it's very difficult for me to relax. So I'm more like, okay, get it done, and then you can relax for an hour. Okay, but everybody's different in that aspect. Let's take a look at our double trouble and see if you guys can figure it out. Se cayó fuerte en su tabla de snow y ahora está reventado. O sea, cansadísimo. You say reventado. So, tuvo una caída fuerte, maybe would be another translation, en su tabla de snow. Y ahora está reventado. Está cansadísimo. Además de lesionado, ¿no? I guess he's injured as well. So, se cayó fuerte en su tabla o tuvo una caída fuerte en su tabla de snow y ahora está reventado. That is your double trouble. You have to use the same word twice, amigos. Well, I can't believe it. We are off to our third commercial break, and we'll be right back with the fourth part of today's show. When we come back, we'll take a look at our double trouble answer. We've got the Say What soundbite for the fourth time, question of the week, famous birthdays, name that lyric, and so much more. My show with no namers. So I need your help here. I need all of you to help me out. If I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 4 of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Also, a quick reminder, we've got an upcoming trivia night. So mark your calendars. It's our April Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It's April 10th. April 10th at Roll Madrid. And it's hosted by the one and only Juan Solo. It's a great opportunity to hang out with your favorite Vaughn Radio presenters, your fellow classmates, and to have a blast. Pasarlo bomba. It's free. Well, of course, if you want to eat or drink something, if you consume something, you got to pay for that, obviously. But there's no registration. Just show up and get ready to have the time of your life. And I never felt like this before. Yes, I swear. Not time for Name That Lyric. Not yet. No, no, no. We're going to kick off with your Say What soundbite now for the 4th time. And as I said, Elena got it already. So great job, Elena. Wonderful. We'll see if anybody else can get it. And I got to say, I love this guy. Me encanta este tío. Me flipa. He is awesome. And we'll find out who he is in this part of the show. But that's not the important part. The important part is, what is he talking about? Let's hear it.
When you have dinner, when you have drinks, when you socialize, you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion. I don't know about you. And you don't talk about sports. Those are the big 3.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town. More information about Vaughn Town over at grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. You can find out about Vaughn Town, Weekend Town, Masters, or any of our amazing English initiatives. All right, let's take a look at today's Double Trouble. The first person to take a stab at it, and the only person to take a stab at it, is Elena. And Elena says, I'll take a stab at this one. Pues mira, ya te llevas otro totally native, por decirlo tan, ¿no? O sea, que ya no has perdido nada si no has ganado. I'll take a stab at this one. Voy a intentar. A ver, si queremos decir como sin saber nada, te doy un super totally native. A stab in the dark. I'll take a stab in the dark. O sea, no sé, no. It's a very, a ver cómo lo traducen. Me acuerdo de verlo. A stab in the dark. No, stab in the back, it says here. Bueno, no lo encuentro. Oh, yeah, shot, a stab in the dark, a shot in the dark, al voleo. Okay, so a stab in the dark or a shot in the dark is a voleo. That's what it is, all right? It's also an Ozzy Osbourne song. Just a shot in the dark, one step away from me. Just a shot in the dark, al voleo. So she took a stab in the dark, a shot in the dark, And let's see what she says. She says, I dropped off the snowboard. I like it because drop es que tú te caes. But if you say to me, I dropped off the snowboard, the first thing that comes to mind is lo dejé en algún sitio. So, for example, I dropped off the snowboard because it needs waxing. Requiere cera. Okay? So that would be more drop off. But I love the way you think because to drop es caer, I like it. Let's see the second part. She says, and now I'm ready to drop. Well, you know what? An E for effort. Eso sí que, man, I'm ready to drop. Significa estoy muerto. Tengo un cansancio que no puedo. I'm going to pass out. Otra forma de decirlo. All right, let's see. Chris says, sorry, no clue today. I haven't heard this week's FYI yet. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Any Beach Boys fans here? I love the Beach Boys. I have their album Pet Sounds. I have a couple albums of theirs on vinyl. And oh man, the Beach Boys, just so talented, man. You listen to it and you hear sounds like, and remember, this was a long time. This came out in the 60s and they had a different sound and they experimented with all kinds of instruments. Brian Wilson, Brian Wilson, a couple of them were known for being eccentric geniuses and they never even surfed, but they wrote songs. I think one of them actually surfed, but the rest of them didn't surf, and their most famous song is Surfing USA, Inside Outside. But they've got another one that goes, Wipeout. Do you know this one? Empieza con unas risitas y dice, Wipeout, caída. So if you're surfing and you fall, you wiped out. Man, what a wipeout. Se puede usar como sustantivo. Okay. Wipe es also lo que hacemos con el culo después de hacer nuestras cosas. You wipe your coolie, your butt, your bottom. Okay. So he wiped out. Y fíjate, la T se une con el out. So he wiped out, or he had a wipeout, como sustantivo, on his snowboard. And now he's wiped out. Está reventado. So look at that. He had a wipeout or wiped out, a secas, on his snowboard. And now he's wiped out. Excellent effort. Also, Anix taking a stab at it. Let's see what Anix says. She says he had a great fall from his snowboard, and now he's snowed under. I like it. You know what? I got to make some corrections. Unos ajustes. So he had a great fall from his snowboard, or he fell off his snowboard. Sería más, right? But it's difficult because you're strapped to it with bindings, las fijaciones. That's a difficult thing to do, but I love it. I'm applauding the creativity. He had a great fall from his snowboard, and now he's, y te falta solo Anix, pero me encanta porque estaba pensando en esta palabra esta mañana, so stop reading my mind. Snowed under. Te falta la ed. And to be snowed under, piénsalo, la nieve se te ha caído encima, no puedes ni moverte, estás que no puedes más. Y no solo de cansancio, you're too busy. You've got too much. Man, I am snowed under with work. Excellent job, really. But the answer I've got for you is he wiped out on his snowboard, and now he's wiped out. Está reventado. He's pooped. Esa me encanta. Otra forma de decir, no es cagado, ¿eh? Suena como es cagado, ¿no? No, like we were talking about being scared before. No. He's pooped means he is really exhausted. He's worn out. Otra forma de decirlo. So you've got a few different ways to say it. All right, well, we're going to see what you guys do when you are wiped out, when you're pooped after a tough day. We've already heard from Anix, Chris Valrol, and Carmen, and they really did a wonderful job. Let's see what Adriana has to say.
What makes me feel better after a long week?
day of work usually is uh, have a long walk or doing exercise in the gym. The other thing, another thing that makes me feel better is when I arrive home to see my tiny dogs jumping, very happy to see me. So that what I believe. The other thing that I like or that makes me feel better is paint in watercolors, and with a glass of wine is a very nice activity.
All right, Adriana. Just one little thing. Because Adriana, I do what I can to compress the audio and to make it so we can hear everything really well. But I have to admit, even with all that stuff, it was a little difficult to hear you. So next time, it's great. You did a wonderful job, and I could understand most of it. But there was some kind of background noise going on there or something. So just be mindful of that, folks, because obviously it makes your message harder to understand if we have to deal with that. So that's why it's so important that you find a quiet spot, where there's no echo, and you speak into the microphone, and I'll do the rest. But just be careful with that in the future, because as you could hear, the audio was just a little, again, I don't expect professional audio, but remember, we are trying to understand everything that you're saying. And that was a little bit tough for me. But I understood that you love long walks, exercise. Yeah, there is nothing like getting some physical activity. They say 20 minutes of physical activity a day will change your mood. And imagine if you do 40. Imagine if you do 40 twice a day. You go for a big, nice, brisk walk, brisk es rápido, in the morning, and in the evening, you take another one, right? With your dog, even better. And I think one thing that we're seeing, we saw it with Anix as well, there's nothing like a dog to help you unwind. They really are awesome. She also said something, my other thing is paint. Cuidado ahí, digamos, painting, la pintura. So my other thing is painting with a glass of wine. Sounds like fun. Wow. All right, let's see who's next. Up next, we've got Jose Maria.
Hi there, here I am again. I hope you are enjoying today's show with no name. I love this week's question of the week. There are several things that can make me feel better after a bad day, starting with a weekly review class of FYI with Alberto Alonso and my fellow colleagues. Also, an intense 1-hour gym session and of course, an intense salsa or bachata class. I really love all of them. And maybe the best of all was when my little daughter hugged and kissed me as she used to do. But now she's 20 years old, it's not the same, and she's been studying for 3 years in Salamanca and Leti in Germany. Oh, little kids are adorable. If you can enjoy them, do it. I assure you of the great memories you'll have. Have a nice weekend.
Wow, Jose Maria. That was so heartfelt. No, ha sido del alma. It was very, very heartfelt, Jose Maria. I felt your sincerity there. No, y esto es tan importante porque I know Jose Maria. He's one of my students. He's been for years now. And I know him as a person, and he really, really is a funny guy. And you could hear that in there. He was talking about the things that relax him, that help him unwind. One of those things was class with me. He's in a weekly class with me. And I always tell my students at the beginning of our class, when it's on a Wednesday, sometimes it's on a Monday, I say, I don't care what happened the rest of the day, right, before this, but I can guarantee for the next hour, we're going to have some fun, because I didn't come here to, drag my heels. No, drag my heels es como arrastrar los pies un poco. So awesome. His English class is a great way to unwind, Jose Maria. That was the right answer. Also, the gym And something I know about Jose Maria too, he loves to boogie, to get down, bailar. And he said, I think the other thing that I didn't mention, spending time with my daughter. Spending time with my daughter is the greatest drug in the world. I am serious. Everything, it is like a painkiller. All of a sudden, life is amazing. And I know sometimes when she's like, Dad, let's go to the park. And I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted. And usually, it's your initial reaction. You're working, it's a busy life. You're juggling a lot of things. But after a minute with her, I feel alive. And that's amazing. A hug and a kiss from your kids. I mean, it's similar to the dogs. I mean, I don't want to consider kids as dogs, but they are. If you have a dog, it's like your kid. You take care of them. I always say, thanks to Simon, my dog, my former dog, rest in peace, buddy, that he never knew what he did for me. Really, fully. Because yes, we adopted him. We took him in. We gave him the greatest life you could ever imagine. I know it. I know he was happy. And he gave me the greatest thing I could ever imagine. He taught me how to be a dad. And I didn't know it then. So in retrospect, I'm like, that little booger, otro mocoso, that little booger was teaching me how to be a dad. I can't believe it. Teaching me the responsibility of caring for another person or another being, and another being depending on you. So beautiful, really beautiful stuff, Jose Maria. And again, if you can make your personality come out, that's wonderful. Here's somebody who is chock full of personality, Jaime.
Hi, Alberto. Well, I think this week's question of the week, it's easy for me. When I'm on my way home from work after a bad day, well, I work in a prison. I'm work surrounded by inmates, and unfortunately, I have really bad days. I've seen chairs flying in the patio or in the backyard. I've seen legs of chairs above me. So when I'm on my way home from work, I'm thinking about I put a kind of beer in the freezer. So when I take a shower, after the shower, I relax, pouring the beer, a cold beer. Well, that's all. Thank you. Thanks for having me in the program.
Wow. And you guys think you know what a bad day is, huh? Jaime's like, when I have a bad day, I work at a prison. When I have a bad day, chairs fly through the air. People, there's blood on the ground. So I guess it puts everything into perspective. What is a bad day, really? Was it, oh man, I couldn't find a parking spot in front of my office? Or is it, I almost got hit by a chair by a rapist, un violador? Like, Jaime, you take the cake, te llevas la palma ahí. But what he says he has to do, and it's so important, Jaime, again, I think with doctors too, in the medical profession, you've got to really separate yourself from your job, because, your brain, you're just, so much is going on there. So you really have to, when you cross that threshold, ese umbral, say, okay, hasta luego, no more prison thoughts. Now we change gears. And there's nobody said this. Jaime, thank you. A shower? The power of a shower? Oh man, how many times I'm having a bad day. I don't feel good. Maybe my back hurts a little bit. Remember, I'm getting up there, folks. Me estoy haciendo mayor. And there's like a nice hot shower where you don't have to rush. That is amazing. And then if you get out of the shower and you can have a brewski, una cerveza, you are golden. Speaking of golden, here's my student, Lina.
Hi guys, it's me again. Okay, regarding the question of the week, yeah, what makes me feel better after a bad day? Yeah, well, definitely when I arrive home and find my beloved ones. This is the main point to have into account. We're very lucky to have our people around us, people you can always trust. And also, it makes me very calm and relaxed, listening to some of the radio programs you can find, and podcasts I really think they do a great job, as they are able to make me not only learn, but feeling better after a bad day. It's like I forget all the bad things that I've come through the day, and I just focused on what is really nice and encouraging and makes me see life in a different way. Actually, I promise this is true. I feel much happier since I listen to you, because you always have this amazing energy, and you're always very supportive. You don't take into account the mistakes you can make, but on the contrary, you say everything is fine, everything will be fine. You will get better. You will improve your English. So honestly, I could say you all, well, having the possibility to belong to your community makes me feel like in family. Thank you so much for that. Have a great week. Bye.
Wow, Lena, thank you. So heartfelt. All right, we've got to go. I got to give you more because we're going to run out of time. Here's Marisol.
Hi, it's Marisol. Contrary to what plenty people who say that after a tough day, what makes them feel good is drinking some alcohol, like wine or beer, in my case, this practice doesn't work. What most of the time works for me is watching some episodes of the TV serial Friends, which I find it very funny. Plus, eating chocolate too, but not any kind of it. I'm picking when it comes to chocolate. It has to be Lindor. I shouldn't mention any brand. Nevertheless, it is the only one that is set in stone for me. So, both things together make me drifted apart from all of my frustration. In addition, if I also can hang out or do video calls with companionable friends who crack me up, then I would feel way much better. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Bye to our show with the namers. Greetings.
Wow, even singing in there. Excellent job, Marisol. Let's hear from Christina in Chicago.
Hi, Alberto. This is Christina again from Chicago. I'm following your directions and advice. I'm speaking slowly when I'm teaching, and also I'm emphasizing, like ended up or like a ed, at the end. I'm not kidding. I'm doing it. So I'm a good student, and you're a good teacher. First of all, second, what is the first thing that I do? When I'm very, very stressed. Usually, I teach 6, 7, or 8 classes. Every day. Spanish, like English and Spanish, but English speakers or native speakers. So what is the first thing that I do? Just go and play pickleball. You're going to be surprised, but pickleball here in the United States is a trending. Like everybody plays pickleball, a million of fans, like followers, for pickleball. And it's a type of paddle sport. You will love it. And Spain is growing, but it's still, not very famous. But I highly recommend, to all everybody, is listening, to your program to start, playing pickleball, because this is the future. I'm not kidding. So it's amazing. So see you. Thank you so much for all your advice. And thank you so much. Love you.
All right, pickleball. Lo llamamos pelota del pepinillo. Pickleball, very common one in the United States. And Chris, really nice job. You've really slowed down. Yeah, a lot of times we speak really nervous we speak really fast when we're nervous, excuse me. And folks, unfortunately, we couldn't hear from everybody today. We ran out of time, but don't worry. Next week, I'm not gonna forget about you guys. I've written it down. We're gonna hear from 2 more students that we couldn't hear from this week. That's Kubla and Nudia. Because, of course, if you took the time to send it to me, I want to make sure we can hear it. But we don't have time right now, folks. Wipe out. Now you know what it means, right? All right, folks. Well, we are out of time. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show with no name. Excellent job. As I said, next week we'll hear from Kubla and Nuria. Plus, we've got amazing stuff going on right before Easter week. Don't forget to stop by grupovon.com/cursos destacados and tune in to Test Your English up next. Thank you so much, and ciao for now.